What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this podversation. I previously talked about Dr. Heavenly and her thoughts and views on what Mr. Perry, TP, toilet paper, like somebody called him in my comment section before, because they basically said, and they didn't say all of this, but what I got from it is what Tyler Perry was spewing, like he could just go ahead and wipe his ass with that because it's trash, right? It's crappy. It's disgusting when he was trying to give his advice for Black women and how they should just be okay with making all the money and being with a man who can only pay a light bill or maybe the water bill too and take you out to eat every once in a while. I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but the news is that Dr. Heavenly, I guess she was slated to be a regular fill-in host for TEAGif. And honestly, I really hadn't watched it regularly in a while. I used to watch it consistently, and I like Claudia Jordan, but you know, she's got other projects going on. So I guess when she's not there, she'll be like, or she was going to be, I should say, a regular fill-in host, but she may not have been available all the time either. So I guess they would have other people too. But anyway, did she get fired because Al Reynolds, like she called him Al Jones, being shady, was not happy with what she had to say and how she had to say it in her rhetoric? Anyway, the story from Atlanta Black Star is that she may be out of a job after going toe-to-toe with Al Reynolds on this hotly debated topic. And they had a blowout while discussing Tyler Perry's controversial relationship advice to Black women. Now, I played Dr. Heavenly's response before because I basically said she said everything that I already said. She just said it in a different way. And that's who she is. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I know there's a lot of people that really don't care for her. I like, you know, some of the things that she says. I'm not like, oh my God, it's Dr. Heavenly. She's just a regular person just like you and I that has a, you know, great opportunity being on Married to Medicine and has really catapulted her business from being on that show, which makes sense. That's what you should do when you get the opportunity to be on platforms like that. But anyway, I didn't really get into Al Reynolds' response because, again, before I wasn't really talking about that. But now I just want to talk about this because what really got him so heated with her? Was it her way of speaking, or did what she say hit home?
Okay, and so it ain't so much the Black woman. Black men have a lot of ego, and they ain't gonna be able to take it. So it's gonna be anger in the household because they don't feel efficient, and the dick ain't worth all the stress. I'm sorry, Al. What's your opinion, sir? Sorry.
Dr. Heavenly, I think I'm more of a realist, right? Women aren't out here asking not to have their bills paid for them. They're lonely, and they entertain these guys who are less than their yoke. They're not evenly yoked with them, and it's a phenomenon. It's an epidemic. It's a something because it's happening too much. But you can't blame the man or if you are in a relationship,
a man that don't want to take his wife.
Excuse me, hold on. Dr. Heavenly, I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. Let me finish talking, please. So if you are in a relationship, if women are in a relationship and they don't feel comfortable paying all the bills, then get out the relationship and stop talking about it.
Absolutely.
Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim.
Al, ask any Black woman that's educated. They're not going to agree with Al.
Okay, I'm not saying agree with you. I said if you're not happy, if you feel like if you're an educated Black woman and you're in a relationship and you're not happy with it because he's not paying the bills, get out of it.
I think the issue is Tyler Perry is saying that the Black man. That's the issue.
Listen, stop being in a relationship with a man that you don't respect and you don't like because he's not holding his own.
All right, I want to pause it right there. Now, if any of you have watched TEAGif before, you know that him being interrupted on the show is nothing new. And it's kind of ironic that Funky Dineva and Dr. Heavenly, I don't know how they facilitated that. I wonder if Funky had a hand in that, because they're very similar. Now they're really good Judies, which means good friends. And they both have a similar way of doing stuff like that. So Funky was enjoying it, because if you've ever watched TGIF, there are plenty of times when he interjects, and does not agree with Claudia, or even it's been Al. Not just because both of them play for the same team doesn't mean that they always agree. There have been times when he didn't agree with Al, and because he didn't like the opinion that Al had, he called it stupid. So him being interrupted or even having his opinion not respected is nothing new. So for him to say, if you don't like it, stop playing the victim and get out of the relationship.
Period. If he ain't got the money, he ain't got the money. As it relates to what Tyler Perry is saying, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If the man makes, like, say the household income is $100 a month, and the woman brings $80 to the relationship, and the man brings $20 to the relationship, because that's what they make. They both should pay the percentage that they make. So if the bills are so the guy should pay 80%. I mean, the woman should pay 80% of the bills, and the guy should pay 20%.
Listen, a lot of people don't live by the Bible, so I'm not here to interject my beliefs on anyone. But if you're trying to live biblically, and I get it, we live in days and times where it's hard unless someone is making an exorbitant amount of money and you want to live a particular lifestyle, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of important for both people to be working and contributing in some way. I get that, but him talking about this percentage bullcrap, that sounds like some Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union stuff where we're not roommates. We're not roommates. And women, yeah, they have to make the decision what they want for themselves. If that's something that they choose to do, then fine. But if you want to break things up and split things percentage-wise, are we in a relationship or are we roommates that have sex? Like, that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. And like Dr. Heavenly said, if he can't pay it, don't live with him.
Of the bills. If he can't pay 20% of the bills, stop messing with him. Don't complain about him. Stop messing with him.
The way that will work, okay, if you can only pay 20% of the bill, you're not my husband. Because biblically it says you're supposed to provide for me, right? And I'm going to finish this. Because I don't agree with you, and I think we're coming from three different points of views. We are. If the man can't pay the bill, you at this point 20%, you my bitch, okay? So you need to clean my pool. You need to pressure wash my damn tennis court and do what you can. So I'm adding on, but you not my man. You're not my man.
Okay, then get him out the house. Stop calling him your boyfriend. Stop calling him your boyfriend and call him your slave.
Tyler Perry said it was okay.
Stop calling him your boyfriend and stop complaining about it. And stop complaining about it. And stop complaining about it.
So let me jump in here.
Your man isn't holding his slave. Your man is not holding his slave.
All right, let me jump in here real quick, because the audio is staticky. Hold on, Heaven, you got to be quiet, because can't nobody hear when all us talk. So first and foremost, I think Tyler Perry used an extreme, right? I don't think in the real world, nobody, man, woman, or flower pot, is finna sit back and just let some bitch come up in their house and be paying a light bill. Here is the question, and I post this on my Instagram, and Heavenly, I want you to give me a realistic answer. Because I'm hearing both of y'all. But black women right now are in this position, and I'm listening, where they say we're out earning, we're more educated, we make more money than men, and then they complain about a lack of availability of black men. I understand that, okay? And we can make the argument that black men need to step it up, and I 100% agree that they need to step it up. However, if we're being realistic, let's just say you're 38, you're 40, you're at that high place earning, The black men as a collective are probably not going to step it up in time enough in your lifetime. So with the current availability of men, what are you to do? All right? What are you to do? If you making what you making and the only available pool of black men available to you right now are make a little less than you, a little less educated to you, I'm not asking you to settle, and I'm not telling you to do. To Al's point about the stop complaining, you're complaining about a man that doesn't exist. If they don't exist right now because the pool of dating of black men got piss and shit in it, then what are y'all to do? Want to be married and you want to have children and you want companionship and this is all that's available, what are you to do?
Get you a damn puppy. The lady got fake babies. Get you a fake damn man, because it's not going to work no kind of way. I don't know what y'all talking about, but it's not going to damn it work. The man is going to have the ego and have the issue in the household. What I'm saying is women, and I guess the issue at his hand is Tyler Perry made light of it, making it seem like it's okay to accept this. In other countries, other cultures, they don't accept it. So why do black women always got to be the I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I wouldn't accept that.
Tell me a culture. Tell me a culture. Tell me a culture. Tell me a culture.
Look at me, like every one of them damn men had a good job. The woman stayed home. The woman is catered to a lot of different cultures. White cultures. Come on now, Al, you know.
One of the poorest countries. What are you talking about? Listen, this is the problem with me. First of all, I'm not gonna take advice from somebody who's married and living a very wealthy life with a very good man and a very wealthy man. You can't give me no advice out here on how to handle men who I work very hard. I'm not gonna stop working. I'm not going to stop making my money, okay? If I was a woman, I wouldn't.
You see how hypocritical that is for him to say, I'm not going to take advice from a very wealthy woman who is with a very wealthy man. But yet, black women are supposed to take advice from a very wealthy man that it's questionable that he even wants to be in a relationship with a woman. Like, do you see the hypocrisy in that?
Doing that, but I'm not going to sit up here on my good internet and let you attack black men who are out here trying to do their best.
No, you're not going to put that on me. I'm not attacking black men. What I'm saying is live in a household.
Man, get out of here, Dr. Heaven. Get out of here now. You ain't gonna pussy pop and backpedal on this show. We're not gonna do that on this show, Dr. Heaven. You back here backstroking right now. What you said was that a man who could not pay me 20% was your bitch. And a man ain't your bitch. If he's a bitch, he shouldn't be in your house.
No, he wouldn't be.
Well, good. That's you. That's you. That's you, Dr. Heavenly, and I can respect that. That's all.
The marriages do not work for all.
They don't have.
All right, y'all, listen. Ceasefire. Listen, y'all can tell this was a very heated discussion, and I wish we had. Hold on, Heavenly. I wish we had more time. I'd like to thank Dr. Heavenly and Al Reynolds for everything, for joining us tonight. And thank y'all for watching us on YouTube.
All right, so you heard the back and forth. Sometimes you couldn't even really make the words out. But listen, to me, it really sounded like he, meaning Al, was catching those darts that were flying and it was hitting home. And he wasn't liking it, because for him to go there with Dr. Heavenly to say, man, get out of here. I'm not going to let you disrespect black men on this internet who are out here trying hard. That doesn't even make sense. Because for what Tyler Perry was suggesting, for women who are making the majority of the money to just settle with a dude who doesn't really have much. They may only be able to afford to contribute to a life. Like, that is ridiculous. That is not someone that is trying hard. That's not someone that is trying to pursue higher. And I already spoke to that. I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, he shouldn't have been speaking to black women settling for less if they want to be with a black man, because that may not even be what they are going to want to go for, if that's all that there is. I mean, period. But he should have been speaking to the black men to aspire to higher and to do more, so that because listen, I know a lot of people feel that sex is extremely important. It's the end all be all. But I've said this before, and it's the truth. It's not just my opinion. It's the truth. Sex is not a necessity. I know some people may feel like it, but if some people have the urge or they just cannot go without it, you really need to seek help and therapy, because we're human beings. We are creatures of, of sex, yes, but it's not a necessity. If you go in the hospital, you are not going to be given an order of sex because you need that. You're going to be put on an IV because you need hydration, right? When you're born, sometimes I have to be graphic like that because sometimes when I say things like this, people, they feel like it's asinine. But if sex were a need, babies would be having it. It's not a need. It really isn't. So if a dude is broke, he shouldn't be out here trying to get screwed. He should be out here trying to get himself in a situation financially, because we need money to live on this earth. Sex really isn't a need. He needs to be doing what he can to get himself in a place where he could take care of himself. And if he wants to be in a relationship with another woman and they are respecting each other and also want to express that with each other, meaning sex, he should be confident enough to know that this is someone that financially will respect me as well. And they're not just looking at me as a loser with a dick in between my legs that can just break them off. But unfortunately, the times that we're living in, that just doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, because we're in the age of, whole rap and girls out here that are rapping and all they're talking about is sex and stuff like that. I'm not going into all of that. But listen, Dr. Heavenly, she took to her own YouTube channel to talk about Al, and she was just frustrated with what he was saying. She said, to me, he disrespected all Black women, saying that we should settle for 20% and let a man live in your household. I didn't understand all the anger. I found it disrespectful, honestly. Ultimately, we were both saying the same thing. Don't come for Dr. Heavenly unless you're ready to be told all the way off, somebody wrote in her comment section. But Dr. Heavenly, she called him Al Jones. And honestly, it's funny because we know years and years and years ago, he used to be married to Star Jones. And we know who was the breadwinner in that relationship. So to me, it sounds like those bullets were hitting him. And Dr. Heavenly was not ceasing fire. So he couldn't take it. And she also took to her own platform to talk about it. And so I don't know, I'm saying, sounds like he talked to the powers that be. And they decided, yeah, this isn't going to be good, even though we probably got a lot of views from it. Let's just go ahead and let her go. Now, I find it funny that Al is not really understanding, even though he was in a position many years ago. I don't know what his situation is now in terms of a relationship, but he was in a situation years ago where he was the man in the relationship, not making as much money as his counterpart. She was apparently okay with that because she married him, right? But he, to me, seems to be someone that is logical, sensible, and even honest to a T. So he can't tell me that he did not feel emasculated in that relationship, as well as other people putting their opinions about him being in a relationship with a woman who was making way more money than he was. He wasn't broke, but I found it disappointing and a bit funny that he didn't share that about how he felt. And even if he didn't necessarily feel that way, but because of the opinions of others, how it made him feel and how it made him feel uncomfortable in the relationship and marriage that he had. Like, why couldn't he just speak to his own experience versus trying to be okay with what Tyler Perry said and say that, no, don't don't disrespect black men. Dr. Heavenly wasn't disrespecting black men. She was sharing her opinion about what she doesn't believe a woman like herself, and she doesn't accept in a man. But instead, he took that opportunity to take offense versus saying, yeah, you know what? I don't think that was a good thing to say either, because most men are not going to be okay with that, because they're going to feel emasculated. They're not going to really be looked at in a respectable way. And it does play a toll. It does take a toll, and it does play a role in the relationship, no matter how much people try to ignore it. Because as you see, he and Star Jones, they got divorced many years ago. And you can't tell me that didn't have something to do with it, as well as maybe him being bisexual. Okay. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that. Like, what do you believe was the cause for Dr. Heavenly getting the axe from being a regular co-host on TEAGif? Was it the exchange she had back with Al Jones on the show? Or was it what she had to say about him off of the show on her own platform? Or was it a combination of all of it? And how do you feel about Al Jones not even really speaking to his own experience and just being honest about the fact that that's not really going to work, because men feel emasculated. Women, they start to feel resentment towards the situation. And ultimately, it just doesn't wind up working out. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.